Denkoroku poems. Unsurpassed in the beauty of its graceful form is the old plum tree. Its spiny branches, when the season is ripe, will burst forth in bloom. Know that hidden deep within the cloud-enshrouded valley, there still remains the sacred pine, enduring through the chill of time. When the vines have withered, the trees have fallen, and the mountains have crumbled away, the valley stream in cascades will gush beyond its banks, and the very rock will pour forth fire. From atop an 80,000-foot cliff, the water without source, piercing through rock, sweeping away clouds, comes seething and gushing forth, though scattering the snow and flower petals, making them fly in wild disorder. This cloth-like strip, pure white as cotton, is beyond the drab world of dust. With the house demolished and the self o'erthrown, no inside or outside remains. So where, pray, are body and mind to conceal their forms? Reach the very marrow, and you will know the splendor and clarity of that which you have realized. Even so, the master artist Lun Pien encountered such wondrous subtleties that they lay beyond his expression. Even though there may be an everyday purity, silt clear as a river's water in autumn, how can it possibly compare with a luminous spring night, the moon softened by haze? Many are the houses where people yearn thus for a spotlessly clean life, but however much they sweep this way and that, their hearts are still not emptied and clear. He is like the bell at the break of an August morning, which, being struck, reverberates and echoes forth. On such a festival for the dead as this, who needs an empty wine cup? Subhuti and Vimalakirti did not reach it through their conversations, and Moggallana and Shariputra saw it as though blind. If anyone personally wishes to understand the meaning of this, when will a pinch of salt to season the experience not be suitable? Do not say that speech or silence is the way to manifest the wondrousness of the heart, for how can your sense organs and their objects ever possibly defile your own self-nature? Turning page after page, oh, how many volumes of scripture there are! Dying here, being born there, is but chapter and verse. My original nature is not the Buddha, nor is it you, and all my comings and goings abide therein. In the country village, the peach blossoms did not know that they were red, yet they taught Ling Yun how to arrive at certainty. Upon the vast expanse of water, the billowing waves are set free to dash up and meet the sky. Always immaculate is the water of this ocean. How can it ever possibly change? Its solitary light, wondrously vast, is never darkened, for the wish-fulfilling Mani jewel shines forth, illumining everywhere. Once the single needle has fished up all the sky-blue waters of the ocean, the fierce dragon, wherever he may go, will not conceal himself. How sad that his enlightenment-seeking eye was not clear and bright. Deluded as to true self, he sought to repay others, and in recompense is ceaselessly born again and again. The mind machine persuasively calls itself the way mind is, and as a result, how many times has the we come forth wearing a different face? Silent and still original nature resounds, reverberating in a myriad ways, so Ginandai and Kayashata, as well as wind and bell. Clinging to a body from a past life, made ever so remote by the passage of time, we suddenly meet face to face with the one from ancient days. The camphor tree, as of old, grows up into the sky. Its branches and leaves, roots and trunk flourish beyond the clouds. The wind blows across the vast sky, making the clouds expose the mountain peak. Worldly affairs and yearnings for enlightenment are both of no concern. The spirit of Shunyata is neither inside nor outside. Seeing and hearing, sound and form are all as the empty sky. A whitened wall breaks through the clouds, snow on its massive crags. Perfectly pure and without a blotch, it stands out against the blue sky. If you want to manifest the Absolute, do not conceal it. Indefinable in its emptiness, pure in its tranquility, it has been evident from the first. Whilst blossoming flowers and falling leaves may display themselves directly, the Lord of healing herbs and trees ultimately possesses no particular flavour or aroma. The original ground at all times is without even a single blade of grass. Where do our monks' personal explanations add or subtract anything? The light of the moon, reflected in the depths of the pool, is bright in the sky. The appearance of the water, as it flows toward the horizon, is thoroughly clear and pure. Even though you trawl through it again and again, knowing full well that it does exist, it is so spacious and empty, yet discoverable everywhere, that any attempt to grasp it is completely futile. There is no location, boundary, or surface, so how can anything even as minute as autumn down possibly exist? Empty yet resonant, all earth-bound thoughts exhausted, it is beyond doubt alert and clear, always still and bright. The original nature of things is void, unstained and pure, without inside or outside. Hence neither defilements nor virtues leave any traces therein. Original nature and Buddha are fundamentally the same. Both Dharma and Sangha are in themselves clearly wise. Original nature is empty. Its unsullied wisdom holds no thought of right or wrong. Within itself, it recognizes nothing as being fettered or free. Even though we may distinguish 5 skandhas and 4 elements, sight and hearing, sound and form are ultimately nothing other than it. The moon is so resplendent, the water so pure, the autumn sky so clear. How could there be even a wisp of cloud to bespeck the great immaculacy? The mortar struck, its sound piercing high beyond the empty blue. The clouds are winnowed away. The bright moon, deep in the night, shines clear. A bird in its passage leaves no traces of its flight. So why look for stages on that dark and solitary road which leads deep within? A single raising of the fountain scepter gave rise to everything possible, yet Sekito never climbed even a smidgen beyond the proper limits. That lively stranger who is always so vigorous and bold. Whenever you call to him, you make him be the one whose eyebrows raise and eyes blink. The solitary boat, without rocking and pitching, advances toward the moon. If you but look back, behold, the duckweed that floats beside the old shore is still not moving. The humble true consciousness is not emotional attachment, and every day of the week it causes it to teach energetically. Name or form it has never come to assume, so how am I to speak of higher or lower levels? Empty-handed, I sought it on my own, and empty-handed have returned. Since from the first there was nothing to realize, now being satisfied, I have realized. The moon-like true nature and the blossoming in the eyes, how fine their light and colour are. They open outside the eons of time, so who is there to take pleasure in them? The water is clear through and through, down to its very depths. Even without cutting and polishing, the true self is naturally lustrous and bright. The perfect mirror hangs high, its brightness clearly shining into every nook and corner. The vermilion-trimmed boat is so utterly beautiful that no picture can truly capture it. A ridge of rocky hills so many miles high that birds can scarcely pass over it. A sword blade and thin ice. Who can tread on them? There is no need for rouge or powder, for any ugliness would be hard to find. Just love the lustrous radiance that adorns the body of the heavenly child within yourself. Though a clear breeze swirls round and round, stirring up the earth, who can grasp hold of it and show it to you? The old valley stream, its icy spring, is hidden from all eyes. No traveller is permitted to penetrate its ultimate depths. By analogy, it is just like a post wedged in at top and bottom. You cannot push it farther in, and you cannot pull it out. Were you to call it an unseen body, indestructible as a diamond, how immaculate, vast, and radiant would such a body be? The winds of training fan far into the distance, irresistible as a diamond is hard. They circulate everywhere, and because of them, the whole world is sustained. The bright, shining, pure place has neither inside nor outside. So how can there possibly be any body or mind to drop off? The spacious void from the first does not let even a needle pierce it. Vast and still it is, dependent on nothing. So who, pray, is there to dispute it? Do not speak of it as the single hair piercing a multitude of holes. It is a realm naked and without blemish, beyond any trace of anything. Thank you.